Underfloor heating controls. I find them very frustrating. A proprietary unit, when it gets a fault, ends up with the whole unit being replaced, or very often all the room stats and the unit being replaced because it's out of date. And actually, there's nothing in there that's very complicated, and it's easy enough to make one. So you can take a standard programmable room stat, something like this. This is about £50 for one of these EPH units, and so this one I'm doing now has 3 zones, and I've got 3 of these. That's 150 quid, and all I need to make it work on top of that, 3 relays, 1 relay for each box, some Wagos. These are hot glued together just to keep them neat, and these are hot glued together and hot glued into the box. So now basically what I've got is got my 3 leads for my 3 BDRs from the programmable room stats, 3 relays to filter out the signals and send the signal to the motorized valve for the underfloor heating system, and the orange return wire will fire the boiler and the pump. Actually it won't. Actually I will fire from the brown the pump, and from the orange the boiler. Otherwise I'll get a backfeed from the other heating zone that will fire up the underfloor heating pump. So these are relatively low cost. One of these £5 each, a couple of these a couple of quid. The enclosures maybe a tenner, and 3 room stats £150. But in 2 or 3 years time, when one of these goes down, basically all we got to do is buy a new unit. It doesn't have to be the same unit. If the stuff's moved on, we can just replace the one, simply change the BDR, change the unit, and that's it. If anything goes down in here, we don't have to replace the whole thing. All we need to do is plop out 1 standard relay and pop in a new relay, and we're all done. So the stats will be wired straight into these. I've got to have a look at the fuse rating. I may have to put a fusing line for the switching for these to protect the actuators. I don't know if I need to do that or not, but I'll have a look. And that should be it. So an hour of my time and under £200, and I've got 3 zone kit that is future proof. Okay, maybe a little bit more expensive maybe than buying one, but certainly a lot easier to wire up than some of these wiring centres. I have relatively big hands, and I can't get my fingers into those little terminals, and as I'm getting a bit old, I actually have trouble seeing the markings on the terminals. But this I can do in the beauty of my kitchen with plenty of light, and get it all ready to take to site. So we'll walk into site with all this built and just drill a few holes in the wall, clip the various bit components on the wall, and the job's done and everyone's happy.